Friday was a much better day because, like I said, I screwed up my mapping. And from Paris, Texas to Clarksville, Arkansas is only about 250 miles. And I don't know why, but I expected that to take like 6 or 7 hours. And Britex actually called me on it because I left a note on my Facebook account the day before. I said, yeah, I've got 250 miles tomorrow, and you know, it'll be an easy 6.5 hour ride. And he's like, 6.5 hours to go 250 miles? What the fuck, dude? And I don't know why, but I was just looking at the GPS. It was like, yeah, it's gonna take you fucking forever to make this ride. Well, I leave Paris, and Paris is literally like 10 miles from the state border. And it was foggy and nasty and shitty when I got into Oklahoma. And as soon as I crossed into Oklahoma, it had been telling me, I left at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It had been telling me, hey, it's gonna be like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you get there. I was like, good, that's when I wanted to get there. That's when Matt and the guys from up north were gonna be there. That's when Toast and Wilkes were gonna be rolling in. So I was like, all right, I got it timed perfectly, man. Like 10 people are just gonna descend on this poor fucking hotel like vultures on a three-legged cat. And as soon as I cross into Oklahoma, it says, oh no, you're not gonna get there at 4, you're gonna get there at 1. I was like, 1 o'clock at night? Fuck! I don't even know if I can check in that early, you know? Most places don't even let you check in until like 3 or 4 o'clock. So I rerouted a little bit, and I took a route through the mountains. And yes, there are mountains in southeast Oklahoma. And I was on a road that was actually a lot like this. It was not really twisty, but nowhere near straight. And mind you, I've got, you know, 40-50 pounds of luggage on this bitch. And I'm just cruising along, and I start seeing this hill come out. And I was like, man, I want to have some fun, you know? It's like, I got time to kill. If I want to run this shit twice, I will. And I knew I was coming up on this mountain pass. And so I start railing it through these mountains, and I think the speed limit is like 50 or 55, and I'm out there running like 80, 90 miles an hour. And I hang it down into this right-hand corner, and I'd seen this Mustang up ahead, and I knew I was going to catch him. But I didn't realize how quickly, and I caught him in the middle of a right turn with some oncoming traffic, and I was doing almost 100. I was damn near dragging my freaking pegs, and I just dove into the shoulder, and I passed him on the inside of the corner like he wasn't even there. And the look in his face when I went by was fucking priceless. But I had about 10 miles of really good fun, and then you get on the other side of this little mountain range out there, and between there and Fort whatever, or Saint something, Fort something, whatever it is, the big town that's on the Oklahoma Arkansas border, it's all flat. And there's a couple of windy roads down there, but it's just shit, just 90-degree corners going around farm roads or farms and shit. So it can be fun, but you've got to be pushing pretty hard. And I ended up stopping at this little restaurant called the Log Cabin Restaurant in a border town somewhere just inside Arkansas. It was phenomenal food, and the waitress was cool as hell too. I walked in, I've been on the bike for about 2.5 hours, maybe 3. Yeah, it's about noon. And I walk in, and I'm sweaty and hot and funky. And the waitress comes up, and she looks at my helmet, and she looks out the window at the bike, and she's like, oh, when can we go? I was like, man, fuck you. Let me eat first. So when I get done eating, you want to keep coming with me, I won't bitch. But I'm gonna sit down and relax for an hour first. And I loaded back up, stopped, got gas somewhere, and headed on. And I still got to Clarksville pretty early. I think I got there around like 2:30 or so. So I called Matt, see what he was up to. They were still pretty far out. Said they'd be there around 4:30. I think they ended up getting there around 5. Called Wilkes, figure out where he was. He was still out in that town. I I can't remember the name of it. Little Rock. He's in Little Rock. So I talked him into grabbing me a couple of 6-packs of beer because Arkansas is in a dry county, and I didn't mind making the 30 or 40 mile ride that I was gonna have to make to get beer, but I just didn't want to if I didn't have to. So I was like, hey. So Wilkes and Toast showed up around 4:30 or so, and I was half asleep on the bed of the hotel watching TV when I heard them pull their bikes off the trailer and roll up. And I went out to say hi and see what was going on, and from there it was, you know, every half hour, 45 minutes somebody else was showing up, and it was kind of funny. You know, it was a little awkward at first. People not really knowing each other, you know, take a little while to settle into the groove. But once most everybody showed up, we went down to the Mexican place, and got ourselves some mediocre Mexican food. Which I think we go there just because it's indoors, it's not fast food, it tastes good enough, and you know, it gets the job done. So we ate there, and finally Loud Pipe showed up, graced us with his presence. Tracy and Billy showed up with the girls. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the special guest, who I didn't know was coming, and I don't even know if Matt knew, I think he did, he's pretty good at keeping secrets though, was 808 YouTube, flew all the way in from fucking Hawaii, and rode in, well, her and Conniption 88, Vanessa, I hope she doesn't mind me telling people her name's Vanessa. They brought a car. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to ride bitch for 5 hours either. But they all showed up and grabbed a bite to eat and all that shit. We had a good old time sitting around getting drunk. I think Tracy took the getting drunk to a new level. That boy was seeing triple by the end of the night. And if you see some of the videos from that night, the first night where we're all sitting around drinking, it really shows. Drunk down a couple of people and had some fun at Jixon's expense, because he really wanted to be there, but couldn't, and I'll leave it at that. And he'd been talking it up a lot about he was gonna come and all this shit, and then he doesn't. So we had to call him and show him just how much fun we're really having, and a couple of the guys got in the chat and fucked with people in there for a while, and you know, just had a grand old time. Stayed up till like midnight, 1 o'clock, passed out, and then woke up the next day, went at